This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
I think we were long overdue for a change. I think society had been heading in the wrong direction for years and years.
A woman arrested for driving into protesters Monday night in Bloomington. Tonight, the community reacts to the arrest. And we have the latest developments just ahead.
A coach at a Lutheran high school in Indianapolis says she was fired because she is gay. What she's telling us tonight and how the school is responding.
And you are now required to wear a mask while you are in public in Marion County. A deeper look into what the new rule is and how its impact is on you.
Thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Mark Mullins, broadcasting from my home.
And I'm Amanda Starantino at the WRTV studios. First tonight, a 66-year-old woman arrested, preliminarily charged with driving into protesters, hurting two of them. Hundreds of people were rallying and protesting through Bloomington Monday following an alleged racist attack at Lake Monroe. Call 6 Investigates Stephanie Wade has been following this case closely for us and is in Bloomington tonight with the city's reaction.
A 66-year-old woman was arrested late last night at a motel in Scottsburg, just about an hour and a half southeast of here. She's accused of hitting two protesters with her car, dragging them 2 blocks during demonstrations right here Monday night. City leaders reacting to all of this today.
Incidents like this don't come out of nowhere. There are smaller incidents, there are larger incidents, and sometimes they bubble up to the surface.
The Bloomington City Clerk, Nicole Bolden, says she's happy there's some progress in the steps towards justice in her city. Christy Bennett faces preliminary charges of criminal recklessness and leaving the scene of an accident resulting in serious bodily injury after hitting the 2 protesters Monday night with her car, following an alleged racist attack at Lake Monroe. Vox Booker says he was attacked by several white men on the 4th of July who threatened to get a noose and lynch him. There still, however, have been no arrests in that case. An update expected very soon. The community calling for accountability.
I think we were long overdue for a change. I think society had been heading in the wrong direction for years and years.
In Bloomington, I'm Call 6 Investigates Stephanie Wade.
And we are expecting an update and potential charges against the people accused of racially attacking Vox Booker very soon. We will keep you updated as information is released.
Another day of 90-degree heat and a lot of humidity out there, and most of us haven't seen the showers that have cooled us off at times this week. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory is tracking changes tonight. Hey, Kevin.
And one of those changes is our rain chances will actually increase overnight, Mark. That's been unusual. We've been seeing the thunderstorms fade away during the overnight hours. Our string of 90-degree days ends tomorrow, and temperatures as we go through the day tomorrow in the 80s with windy conditions. It's been stagnant out there for a while, but we'll have gusts over 20 miles per hour. First glance, not much happening in central Indiana. Go to the south and east. Everybody off Brookville Reservoir, I'm sure, if they were fishing, as the lightning and thunderstorms have drifted north now through Connorsville, Liberty, and Richmond. They'll continue to move northeast. And also Bedford, just to your east of Mitchell as well. Those will head toward Brownstown and Seymour eventually. All that coming from your southwest. 92 in Castleton. Statewide temperatures in the low 90s from northern Indiana all the way to the southern portion of the state. Tomorrow morning, scattered thunderstorms. That's the way we'll start your Friday. How will we finish it? Find out coming up.
I want them to find love and acceptance in their heart, and I don't need a sorry from them. I don't need an apology from them. I just want them to change the culture at Lutheran.
Tonight, an athletic trainer and coach at a religious high school in Indianapolis says she was fired for being gay. She's sharing with our Nicole Griffin what led to this decision and the change she is now pushing for at the Southeast Side School.
In 2015, Crystal Brazel started working at Lutheran High School as the athletic trainer. It's part of an agreement between Franciscan Health. In 2017, most recently, she also started coaching softball for the school. But in February, all of that came to an end.
I think they really decided to make an example of me, and it breaks my heart because I know what I poured into that school.
When Crystal Brazel started as the athletic trainer at Lutheran High School,
I was diagnosing injuries on a folding table in a hallway.
She started collecting donations because she says the student athletes deserved more, eventually creating this athletic training room.
And I remember going to school thinking, I don't ever want to be a high school athletic trainer. That's why I got my master's. And then life happened, and I started a Lutheran just helping out. And I realized this is really God's calling for me, was to have an impact on these people's lives and maybe be their first real gay Christian that they had an interaction with.
But in February, she says she was called into a meeting with the athletic director and head of school and asked to read a handbook that she says stated homosexuality is a sin. She says she was then asked to sign saying she could follow it, which she could not. Crystal is engaged to be married on July 18th to her fiance, Samantha. She was ultimately told she could no longer coach the softball team she just helped lead to a state title in 2019.
Initially, I was very sad because I knew the school board members and the administration who were making this decision, this ultimately wouldn't directly impact their lives and their well-being, but it would impact every student and every family member that I'd ever interacted with at Lutheran High School.
In June, Crystal says Franciscan Health and Lutheran High School could not come to an agreement allowing her to continue as the athletic trainer either. She is now sharing her story, pushing for change for the future.
I still love them, but I want them to find love and acceptance in their heart. And I don't need a sorry from them. I don't need an apology from them. I just want them to change the culture at Lutheran so that it does be that love and inviting place that I thought it was for 5 years before this happened.
While her heart is still with the families at Lutheran High School, she is now preparing to start as the athletic trainer at New Augusta in Pike Township next week. Working for you, Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
We received a statement from the head of Lutheran High School. It says, in quote, Lutheran High School of Indianapolis is founded on the doctrine of the Lutheran Church, Missouri Synod, and expects employees who shepherd its students to respect and live consistently by these principles. The school's mission is to prepare young adults for a Christian life in a Christ-centered environment. Lutheran High School of Indianapolis needs its leaders of its students committed to these values, end quote. Brazil's other employer, Franciscan Health, released a statement of its own. You can read that and the rest of this story up on our website, theindychannel.com, and on the RTV6 app.
A new rule is now in place in Marion County. You must wear a face covering in public places. That is now a requirement, not a suggestion. Today, Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett and the director of the Marion County Health Department, Dr. Virginia Kane, handed out free face masks at Gleaner's Food Bank. Marion County's mandate that went into effect today is an effort to prevent COVID-19 spikes that are being seen in other cities across the country. The requirement is for everyone 3 years and older to wear a mask in public unless you have a medical condition that prevents you from wearing one.
We want to be the city that doesn't have to reverse and go back to shelter in place. And with this additional step of precaution, with our hand washing and our social distancing, we can make a huge difference in keeping our residents safe.
The mask policy covers all indoor spaces, including office buildings, unless you are alone in your office. Of course, if you are in your own home, you do not need to wear a mask. You must wear a mask outdoors when you are in a situation where 6 feet of social distancing is not possible. If you still need a face covering, you can get one for free. Just go to the website, indy.gov/masks. There you can register for a free face covering. You can also call the Mayor's Action Center at 317-327-4622. Again, that is 317-327-4622. And this is not the first time Indianapolis has required residents to wear masks. 102 years ago, in 1918, Indy required masks during the fight against the Great Influenza. Right now on the IndyChannel.com, we have an in-depth story about the history of that move in 1918, how people reacted, and the impact it had on the people in the capital city.
Tonight, new information showing how COVID-19 continues to impact us here in central Indiana. The State Department of Health confirms 521 new COVID-19 cases for the state. That's 66 more cases than were reported yesterday. A total of 49,575 Hoosiers have been diagnosed with the coronavirus. The state also reports 7 new deaths from COVID-19. That's a decrease in deaths from yesterday. So far, 2,546 people in Indiana have died from coronavirus. More than 542,000 Hoosiers have been tested for the illness. 9.1% of them tested positive. The Indiana Department of Health also says 37% of the state's ICU beds are available. COVID-19 patients are using about 10% of those ICU beds. Non-COVID-19 patients are using nearly 53% of the beds. Also, almost 84% of the state's ventilators are available. As of yesterday, 686 people in Indiana were hospitalized with COVID-19. That's an increase of 19 people from Tuesday. On Monday, 655 Hoosiers were in the hospital with coronavirus. So we've seen an increase in hospitalizations throughout the work week so far.
A huge decrease in the number of people filing first-time unemployment claims in Indiana. The Department of Labor shows in the most recent week ending on July 4th, 24,086 Hoosiers filed first-time unemployment claims. That is down from more than 44,000 claims the week before that. In the 16 weeks since the layoffs began, about 871,000 people in Indiana have filed for unemployment. For perspective, in all of 2019, 190,983 people filed for unemployment. And we are always working to make sure you know what jobs, resources, and education is available to you through our Hiring Hoosiers effort. And one resource is our job feed. Mid-America Service Solutions provides industrial cleaning and facility management services to their clients. They need a general laborer to help their team complete assigned projects. You must be able to lift things, help with tool and material placement, follow directions, and complete other duties as assigned by the team leader. Service Sanitation in Indianapolis needs a driver laborer. You would be behind the wheel of a big truck and also working with your hands outdoors all year. There are plenty of overtime opportunities with this position. Intercontinental Holding and Shipping wants to hire a truck driver interested in transporting finished goods and raw materials to and from manufacturing plants or retail and distribution centers. You can view these jobs as well as many other positions right now on the job board at hiringhoosiers.com. With every posting, we have a link to the application process.
Tomorrow, music returns to Ruoff Music Center in Hamilton County for the first time since the pandemic canceled concerts across the country. But there is a pretty big change to tell you about. It's called Live from the Drive-In. 3 shows are scheduled beginning tomorrow and running through Sunday at the Ruoff Music Center parking lot. Yacht Rock Review will be opening the series tomorrow, followed by John Party on Saturday and Brad Paisley on Sunday.
We just think that it's a great opportunity, even if may not be a country fan or you're looking for something specific, just to get out, to hear some of these great acts, have a really good time in a safe environment.
What is it? Each concert will begin at 7:30 p.m. Again, this is at the Ruoff Music Center parking lot. Tickets are still on sale for all 3 shows.
It's official. Within the coming weeks, officers with the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department will begin to wear body cameras. The department has signed a contract to purchase enough cameras for 1,100 officers. Police in the IMPD East District, the busiest in the city, will be the first to get them. All 1,100 officers should be outfitted by late in the year. Many groups and individuals in the city have been calling for the cameras for some time as a way to improve police accountability. In May, Mayor Joe Hogsett said he is expected to see officers with the cameras by this summer. This pandemic is affecting the mental health and stress levels of a lot of people. Working for you, how a change in your diet can change your outlook. That's next.
The Pacers and the rest of the NBA are making their way to Florida for a summer reboot. Coming up, find out what's in store for the teams down there. And the Pacers talk about their prospects as the season begins again.
And a pattern change for us means changing temperatures, changing rain potential, and a couple other things. We'll go through the list coming up.
Orthopedic retailer in North America, Ashley Home Store.
The Rebound Indiana is our initiative to share important tips and information to help you get through this pandemic.
Brian Brennan with our Scripps partners in Arizona shows you how making the right changes to your diet can help your mental health and reduce your stress levels.
You're at your physical healthiest, then that's going to be the conditions that support your best mental wellness as well.
University of Arizona nutritionist Ann Schoolis-Ray says in times like these, you want to give yourself what you need. A poor diet is more like giving yourself the flu.
Think about when you're sick. So you have all the inflammation in your body. Have you ever tried to do your best work under those conditions when your whole body is inflamed? It doesn't work.
First step, cut out the junk. Highly processed foods, refined sugars, and corn syrup all feel good in the moment, but are not a recipe for long-term happiness.
Your mood is down, your ability to concentrate is decreased.
Schoolless Ray says there are a million diets out there, but she says most people can benefit from keeping it simple. Eat more fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, and fatty fish.
Omega-3s are a good one because the brain is actually made out of omega-3s, and also they're directly responsible for regulating a lot of inflammatory processes in the body.
And you don't need to become a health nut overnight. Small changes over time can make a big difference.
Nobody eats a perfect diet. It's just going to be these small changes that you make over time, and you should feel good about each incremental improvement.
And that was Brian Brennan reporting. Right now at the IndyChannel.com/rebound, you can find info about food pantries and giveaways that are supporting Hoosier families. Kevin.
And if you're grilling out this evening, it's unlikely you'll have to close the lid and run inside. There are a few areas of thunderstorms. I'll show those to you, but not widespread at this point. 90 in Indy. Bloomington's at 93 degrees, our high temperature. Other areas in the upper 80s. Monticello at 90. We'll talk about a few of the changes. A brief break from the heat. We'll have a few days with highs in the 80s. Our low weekend rain chances, and then the heat builds quickly next week. Won't take long. We'll be well back into the 90s. Our rain chances are greatest overnight through the first half of Friday. As I've mentioned, there's no guarantee you'll see rain at your house, but this is the best chance that we have in the short-term forecast to cash in on some overnight thunderstorms into Friday morning. Relatively low rain chances. More on your Saturday night timing in a second. And then next week, this grabs your attention. These would be the warmest temperatures. We've hit 94 on 2 occasions now, so this would be the warmest temperature toward the end of next week. Thursday high of 96 degrees. As far as the thunderstorms right now, let's zip to the south and east. Wayne County, just south of Interstate 70. Good downpour. Lots of lightning with these when they develop. Just rolling through Connorsville, north of Liberty along 27. We'll go to Jackson and Lawrence counties. Thunderstorm with lots of rainfall just to the east of Bedford. These aren't moving quickly. They're drifting to the north. They'll come into southern portions of Jackson County and likely impact areas south of Seymour along I-65. Tonight, these thunderstorm chances increase, especially overnight. A few thunderstorms with gusty winds may enter the western portion of the state, but in general, the timing isn't great for them to maintain any strength. 11 o'clock, not much happening. While you're sleeping overnight, they enter western Indiana, take you to 7 a.m., scattered ongoing thunderstorms. So they're fizzling at that hour. Then I think they redevelop and intensify later in the day, but that's likely to be in the eastern portion of the state. Temperatures, they take a hit tomorrow. They'll be in the 80s, and the wind will gust to over 20 miles per hour in the afternoon. 7 a.m., scattered showers, thunderstorms. The line starts to come together better as it's pulling away from central Indiana. Our rain chances increase Saturday night, continue on Sunday, never overwhelming. 87 and dry Monday, and there we go. From 93 on Tuesday to 96 for the high on Thursday. Amanda, Mark?
Well, Disney World is reopening this weekend in Florida, and the Pacers will be right there, but no Magic Kingdom, no Epcot for these guys.
No, it's time to go to work for them. So what's in store for their summer restart? RTV6's Brad Brown has a look in our Sports Extra Spotlight.
An extended stay at Walt Disney World's Grand Floridian Resort would generally be a fantastic summer getaway. But it'll simply be a long business trip for the Pacers, perhaps a very long one.
It hasn't really even hit me yet personally that, we're going to be in a bubble for 2.5, 3 months. I think it's not going to hit anybody until we're actually there and living it. We got a couple of weeks under our belt. But yeah, I think this is a time that people have already slotted certain teams to win this thing, and it's not going to be that easy.
The team will spend the next 3 weeks practicing inside the NBA's Disney World bubble. 8 games to finish the regular season. Follow that, and then the playoffs begin in mid-August.
Our focus will be to approach those games, certainly to get our guys back into a rhythm and build them, get them ready for the playoffs. But our approach is going to be to try and win games. That's what we play for.
The biggest storyline comes with Victor Oladipo opting out of the summer session. But remember, the Pacers played the first 3 months of this original season without their all-star guard.
The chemistry's been great all year. It started getting better towards the end, I feel like, and it's only going to get better now when we play. after having a couple months off, I know the whole team has been watching film, so we kind of process things a lot easier, once you're playing.
Good thing is, obviously, we've had almost that full year together, so hopefully we can get back right to it. But we all know how it is when you come back to playing. You don't know where everyone's going to be. Some people might be clicking and rolling from the jump. Some people might not be. But, I think that's a challenge.
A ton of unknowns heading into this, the largest being if the whole thing even gets started. But the Pacers are hoping to maximize their time spent in Florida.
None of us know what to expect, going down there. I think we're going to be adapting and adjusting to a lot of things once we get to Orlando.
A lot of teams probably don't want to be there. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are hopping on the plane kind of second guessing if we should go. But I think we have a lot of good guys in our locker room that are motivated to win.
The Pacers will have 3 scrimmages in Orlando starting on the 23rd. That is ahead of the NBA seeding games beginning on July 30th. And then the Pacers' first official game is set for August 1st. They'll play basically every other day for those 8 regular season games, and then the playoffs begin on August 16th. The team will have its first practice in the Coronado Springs Ballroom coming up on Friday. And the Big Ten announcing on Thursday that all of its fall sports contests will be held only within the conference. Football, soccer, women's volleyball, cross country, and field hockey are the sports included. The Big Ten may try to add a 10th game for football, as each school will be losing 3 non-conference games. Student athletes that opt out of their season will still have their scholarships honored. Brad Brown, RTV6 Sports.
Forgettable jewelry. 2 clusters of thunderstorms, one approaching Richmond, the other between Bedford and Seymour. Again, overnight, thunderstorms become more likely through the morning hours tomorrow. In the afternoon, rain chances decrease. Amanda?
Thank you for making RTV6 your choice for news. Join us again for the news at 7.